As you know, folks, I like to talk about the interviews and the press conferences that Stephanie White does and kind of nitpick them because that's kind of what I do. I want to nitpick and I want to listen for the things that she says, the things that she doesn't say, or the things that she says and doesn't realize that she's actually saying what it actually means. And I know I was out last week, most of this past week, but I'm going to do this, you know, this discussion on this particular interview, the pregame to Vegas, the Vegas game on Thursday, that the Indiana Fever did come out and win 80-70. But there's some things that were said in this interview, and I want to talk about them and discuss what they mean, what she said, and the fact that she actually implied, hell, flat out said, "Oh, well, it might be better that Caitlin Clark is not playing." I don't know, but I'll let y'all listen to it and you let me know what you think. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. Appreciate y'all continued support of the channel. So let's just jump right on in on this one. Let's take a look at what Stephanie had to say going into the Vegas game. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, it's definitely a relief to know that there's nothing else going on and no more damage. Now it's just being patient with the process.
Let's stop right there. I'm stopping because she's talking about Caitlin Clark's injury, the fact that she got checked again. Why would there be more damage? I need someone to explain to me why there would be more damage. Why was there even the possibility of there being more damage when she's supposed to be resting? When she's supposed to be getting treatment, when she's supposed to be getting taken care of, when she's not supposed to be running around, shooting the ball, dribbling the ball. Everything that she's supposed to be doing is supposed to be rest related. I don't know why they would have to be worried about potentially worse damage being done. Or maybe it's because she hasn't rested. Maybe it's because they haven't sat her down the right way. Maybe it's because they're not doing the right things. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments because that comment off the rip was a little bit weird. But let's continue.
Could you talk about what you've seen from Sophie Cunningham over the last 5 games? She's had double figures and kind of just her transition and role now in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and I mean, Sophie's just kind of found her way. She started out the season really hot, and then had some setbacks with some injuries. And as most people know, you have to work your way through that, and she did. And she's been really impactful for us off the bench. And we wanted to bring her energy, her ability to stretch the floor, her ability to defensive rebound. And play make on the offensive end. We wanted that to start the game, so moved her into the starting lineup, and she's been good for us.
All right, I can agree with that. That might be the one decision that she's made that I can agree with. The fact that Sophie Cunningham has been playing really well. She has been the player that I thought she could be, and that I expected her to be. Actually, I always thought that she was better than Lexi Hull, but she didn't look like that this season. She looked awful for the first 15 years. I don't know about how hot she came out. I don't know what she's talking about really, because I don't remember her playing all that well pretty much most of the season so far. But the last 5, she's been very, very good. She has become the shooter that the Fever needed Lexi Hull to be. And when I made my video about that, and I talked about Lexi Hull's shooting and the fact that when she doesn't shoot, it hurts the team. Well, Sophie Cunningham has taken on that role. She has made that decision. By the way, Lexi Hull's 3-point shooting has dropped since she's been moved to the bench. It's now under 44% when it was up close to 50 before. But yeah, there's been realistically, she has become the player that you wanted in terms of shooting the ball, the threat. She has done the things that I was asking Lexi Hull to do. And regardless of who does it, I mean, Sophie Cunningham is now shooting 42% from 3, which is obviously very good as well. But she's consistent for the most part in her shooting now. The last 5 games, she has gone 3 for 4, 5 of 8, 2 of 8, 2 of 3, and 2 of 3. That goes for 16, 14 of 12, 20, 14 of 26, and that's torrid. And that's torrid pace. So, and she put up 15, 15, 12, 11, and 13. So yeah, she has been a very important part of the puzzle and taking on that role that I've been calling for Lexi Hill to do. But glad to see someone's doing it.
The other day, after that loss, Kelsey was saying, we got to get our act together and do it fast. Have you been stressing that to them? It's time. You got to make a move now, the second half, and we got to win now.
I mean, every day there's a sense of urgency, right? I mean, this league is too good, and every day you got to play with a sense of urgency, and sometimes you have to weather storms, and sometimes you have to navigate circumstance, right? But I think at the end of the day, we have to be where our feet are, and we have to approach every day and every game in the same way, no matter what the dynamics are. And you can't get too high, you can't get too low in a season like this. And you just got to show up, and you got to play the hand you're dealt, and you got to play the game that's in front of you.
Yeah, just obviously there's no timeline for Caitlin, but what has she been able to do this last week? Is it mostly just rehab recovery, or has she been able to do any kinds of practice?
Yeah, no, I mean, we haven't really practiced since the couple days before All-Star break. So
You heard that right. I'm gonna play it for you again.
yeah, no, I mean, we haven't really practiced since the couple days before All-Star break. So mostly rehab.
Oh, okay. Let's read this. We haven't practiced since a couple days before the All-Star break. Today is July 26th as I record. It's about to be July 27th when you see this video because it's almost midnight. I'm back on the East Coast, as you know. I'd be in the West. I'd be at 9 if it was in the West still. So we're at almost midnight. The All-Star break was the 18th, right? They had their little party on the Thursday, the 17th. So you're telling me that you haven't practiced since what, the 14th? Because they played back to back the 15th and the 16th. The 17th they were on break. So are you telling me? I'm gonna ask the question, folks. Did you hear the same thing I just heard? You haven't practiced since July 14th as a team? I'm just throwing it out there. That's 12 days. You haven't practiced in 12 days. Now, these comments were before the Vegas game, so that was 10 days. And I do from what I've seen from reports, they did not practice on Friday, but they practiced today, the 26th. So they've practiced one time in 12 days. I mean, that's a way to get better. I'm sorry, I'm rubbing my eye. I have something in my eye. I apologize. Let's keep it. Did y'all hear that? I'm just wondering.
Shooting, and she's been with our athletic training team, and we've been preparing everybody else.
To that point, in what ways does, although it's not complete clarity, but now you can to some extent kind of move on and say, hey, this is what we have for the time being, let's move forward. What can that do over these next several weeks or whatever it takes?
Yeah, I think that's big. Just the mindset of our group to know that we've got what we've got, to continue to grow and connect in those ways, and not, is she available, is she not available, will she practice, will she not practice, and sort of the disruption that comes with some of that. So there's clarity, and I think that's good for everybody. It's good for Caitlin too, so she doesn't feel any kind of way. She can just approach and attack her rehab one day at a time.
Get the out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all created this mess. She just sits here and tells you, oh, it's better that we know. You knew last week. You knew 10 days ago. You knew dating back to the 14th of July when the injury happened. You knew it then. You knew that she was not going to be able to play. But y'all ran with this narrative. You continue to do it. Oh, it's day to day, or it's this. No, you always knew. So you making some excuse now for why you don't play well? That's on you, Stephanie White. I don't care what you tell the public. You damn well, all y'all motherfuckers knew that she was going to be out for at least a few weeks. And yet you kept with the narrative of, oh, she might practice, she might play, she can practice. You kept with this crap publicly. Your organization kept with this crap publicly. And now you're saying, oh, we might be better it's better without her. We don't have to worry about it. I know that she's really not saying that they're better without her, but or maybe she is. Or maybe she is. Because without her, they get to play that slow down, walk the ball up the floor basketball that she likes to play over the breakneck, let's run this ball down the floor type of basketball that Caitlin Clark and the team actually likes to play. But you sitting here saying, oh, yeah, well, we know what we got going forward. You guys have been the one with the nonsense. So what is the real injury? What's the real status? Why won't y'all divulge the truth? Why won't you tell the truth? I'm going to give you an example of what just happened in Major League Baseball. I want to give you an example of what just happened in Major League Baseball. Aaron Judge, who was the star of the Yankees, was just put on the injured list by the Yankees. I'm a Yankees fan. We can't win without Aaron Judge. Like, we cannot win without him. He had some elbow pain throwing the ball. And we're freaking out saying, oh, shit, is it an UCL, tear in his elbow? And that's called Tommy John surgery, ulnar collateral ligament. I think that's what it is. Ulnar collateral ligament. Well, it turns out after testing that he doesn't have anything torn. So he's a flexor strain in his right elbow. Don't know what a flexor is, but it's not as bad as UCL. He's been put on the injured list. The Yankees can't win without him, like I said. They cannot win without him. He had some issue with it throwing the ball a few days ago, and then the next game, whatever, as DH, he hit a homer as well. This obviously sucks for purposes of winning the home run race and the RBI race and breaking 60 homers again because he was on a really good pace. So that does suck in that regard. But Aaron Judge is a gamer, as you know. If you watch baseball, you know it. This is what was said by the New York Yankees. New York manager Aaron Boone said Judge will not throw a baseball for 10 days to 2 weeks. But the team hopes he'll come off the IL after the 10 days to serve as their designated hitter, which is what I thought he could have done even with this elbow situation. But they want to err on the side of caution. They're $400 million player. They don't want to ruin his elbow and lose him for all of this, the rest of this season and maybe half of next season. So they're playing it safe, which is what you should do with your star player. This is what I'm very, very critical of the Yankees, but this is how you handle star player situations. You don't mess around. And instead, what the Fever have done is do that day to day bullshit. They've lied to you, they've lied to everybody, and they've kept this charade and the shenanigans going. So that's basically it. He's not going to even touch a baseball for the next at least 10 days. Do you think that's what they've done with Caitlin Clark? I guarantee you, we haven't seen it. She's been shooting basketballs. She's been working out. She's been doing things that she should probably not be doing because they have absolutely no control of their franchise. They got no control of their franchise. So, yeah. And Judge said he was reluctant to go on the injured list and argued to DH instead, which is what an athlete's going to do. But the team pushed for him to miss time and focus on recovery. Throwing is the main concern, said Judge. Hitting happens too quick, and it's not really the motion that I felt anything. I think the muscle that hurts is the muscle used to grip. So when you grip the ball, I guess it's probably something like in here, like right here. I would presume it's like right here. I think the muscle that hurts is the muscle used to grip, so there might be some issues with that. But I've been hitting the past couple days, so I can get me out there. If I can get me out there. All right. But here's the reality. The team said, no, Aaron, you're going to sit your ass down. You're going to be healthy, and we're not going to have any risks from you swinging a bat as well. That's what you're supposed to do with your stars. Instead, with this team, the Fever, you have the day-to-day. We don't know. We'll figure it out. We have no idea. I don't know. She has her own team. We have our own team. She doesn't talk to me. I don't know. We don't talk. Come on. But they're damn sure not better without her. And they're not in a better position by her not playing. You know what you got rolling. You knew what you had rolling a month ago when she was hurt. Y'all push this crap too fast every time, and y'all kept fucking it up, including you, Stephanie White. Judge wants to play. Team said, sit your ass down. Indiana has allowed Caitlin Clark to dictate to the franchise pretty much when she's going to come back, which is also why she's still hurt, because an athlete will never want to sit. The team has to make the intelligent decision for the future of their franchise. That's not what's happened with Indiana. They've rushed her back. They've let her come back. They let her come back. They let her come back. And yeah, it hasn't worked out too well. So it seems like finally they might be saying, no, you're sitting. Even though we've seen her shooting and we saw her jumping around at a party last week and we've seen her do everything that except for rest. She did not rest during the All-Star break at all. Not one iota. Not a bit. Not a bit. And y'all checking to see if things got worse? Why would they have been worse? Y'all think about why they would have been worse.
Steph, Caitlin presents a challenge in itself for any opponent, but when she doesn't play, how is your team different?
I think our ball moves differently. What we run is different. She has such gravity and her ability, not just to be at the top of the scouting report, but her ability to make everybody better with the ball in her hands. So some of the things that we run are different when she's on the floor than when she's not. We run some more off ball stuff. A lot less on ball actions. And I think the other thing is the ball moves sometimes a little bit more quickly. And hopefully side to side. We've got everybody that's on the floor has to be aggressive offensively. Everybody that's on the floor has to be willing passers and shooters. We got to take what the defense gives us. And I also think it gives us a different look. Defensively, we're smaller, but we're a little bit quicker. We've got to be disruptive.
Enough already about the defense. Enough already. You're smaller, but you're quicker. Oh, my word. Enough already. The ball moves differently. Yeah, it moves differently because you don't have the best passer in the league on the floor. Yeah, it moves differently. You guys are scoring under like 80 points a game when she doesn't play. You can't score on the same level. So the game is slowed down. It's a pace that you like. Ask Aaliyah Boston how much she's enjoying playing without Caitlin Clark. I'm sure you'll get a real answer right there. Because without Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston in the last 3 games is averaging 11.5 points per game and 8 rebounds. Those 3 games she hasn't played. Her rebounding this year is down to under 8 boards per game. Please. Garbage.
And then in that New York game, you all, came out like a cannon and got a lead. How do you not allow teams to disrupt what you were doing early?
Yeah, I think our mindset, we've got to stay neutral. We've got to know that the ebbs and flows of the game happen. You can't have 5-minute lapses against great teams. They make you pay and they bury you in those moments. I think we've seen, throughout the course of the season, where we've been really good for long stretches and where we've weathered the ups and downs of a game, and we've got to be able to do that from a neutral mindset. We can't get into the playing conservative. I felt like in that New York game when New York was making some runs, we stopped hunting our shots. We passed up open shots. We second guessed ourselves on the offensive end of the floor. Second guessed ourselves a little bit on the defensive end of the floor. And when you even if it's the wrong thing, when there's clarity and conviction in it, good things happen. And we've got to stay in that with that kind of aggressive mindset.
I actually agree with that. Stay aggressive, but the problem is your offense isn't aggressive. Your offensive game plan is not aggressive. I agree. I'd rather you make mistakes 100 miles a minute, 100 miles an hour. Like I would rather, I'd rather the defensive back get burnt for a touchdown than to be hesitant and get chunked down the field. It's like I'd rather you draw the pass interference going and balls to the wall than get beat for a touchdown because you're hesitant. I guess that's the better way. Rather you get the pass interference for 15 than get beat for a touchdown Even if it's the downfield and NFL, if it's NFL wise, I'd rather you give up the 40 than give up the touchdown. On a penalty, just because when you're hesitant, you're gonna get smoked all game anyhow. So I do agree with that, but problem is she plays a hesitant style of offense. She doesn't have an aggressive offense. She plays a very, very methodical motion offense.
Is playing for Sophie Cunningham to start again tonight, or
Yes.
what is it about her, I guess, at the start of a game that you like having her in the lineup?
Another ball handler, another player who can create shots for her teammates, as well as stretch the floor. A really good defensive rebounder as well. We had at times really struggled from a defensive rebounding standpoint, so like that as well. And her energy.
Given another absence here, is there any expectation to maybe look to bring in an additional body that could help during this stretch at all? Do you know anything about that?
No, that's an Amber question.
Yeah, it's always someone else's question. She had no idea this was happening either. Yeah, that's it, man. I don't agree with what she said on Sophie Cunningham. I don't think Sophie Cunningham's going to get people involved. I think she's there to play defense and there to hit jump shots. She's not. We found out that she's not a good point guard, so that's off of that. But yeah, I thought I'm reading a comment here off the top of this video from the Indiana Fever. It's like, and I thought last year was hard to deal with, brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, and then here's another comment. The ball moves better with CC on the court, Steph White. You had a 30 assist game with CC when CC was the primary ball handler. Cut your BS. This is on the Fever YouTube page. Listening to the strength of Sophie Cunningham reminds me of the strengths of Lexi Hull. Yes, she's better than Lexi Hull. Oh, she still won't take blame for her lineup decisions that caused the loss. This is what it is, man. This is what it is. She thinks that they're a better team. I mean, I don't know what she thinks anymore. But she alludes that they might be better off without Caitlin Clark. I don't know. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. This is Rudy's Rant. Her game, her way, women's basketball. Come on now.